What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Axe Creation. And on this episode, we're going to look how we can take a simple chord progression and develop new ideas from it. Alright, so as you guys heard in the beginning, we have this very simple open chord progression, right? We have B minor, G, D, A. Okay, a very simple progression, very, rock kind of progression. Alright, so how can we take a simple idea like that and make something a little more interesting? Now, in this particular case, it kind of worked out where it almost sounds like a verse riff. It doesn't have to be that way, and you can kind of reverse engineer it depending on what you come up with first. I just wanted to show you how we can take a simple idea, the open chord progression, and maybe make an interesting variation from it, right? Because personally, what you heard, those open chords, the B, the G, this whole section, right? It's usually not music that I would write, but the other part, that is something I would write, so I just wanted to give you the context between those two parts and, hopefully make a cool lesson out of it. So hopefully you guys dig this. Alright, so like I said, you got B minor, G, D, and A. Okay, so for the first part, or the variation part that we're talking about here, I'm kind of outlining the B minor chord. Really, it's just a B5, a B power chord. And then for the G chord, I'm holding that chord, just playing the G chord, because the B minor and the G chord, they're closely related to each other. So there's a little interesting in here. We're trying to put some melody into my chord parts. I always usually do that. And so I'll have the 4th fret on the G string B, and then that note will drop down, and then it'll be open, and then there's some kind of variation going on. And then for the D chord, I'm actually playing this inversion, and again, something I always do since I'm playing that open string, I got this open string, cross string dissonance going on, so I'm playing F sharp, 2nd fret on the low string, E, pinky on 5, D, ring finger on 4, the D string, and then open G. Very nice chord, and that the dissonance between takes it away from that kind of vibe. And that's why I like it, because again, I usually don't do stuff like that, right? And then for the A chord, I'm basically playing, or this 9, right, I'm sliding up the 5, and I'm going to outline that chord. And then I make a little kind of melodic idea out of it. So it's 5, 7, 9. There's my major third, that's 6th fret, that's C sharp. And I just walk up scale in a scale fragment or a scale way. And I grab the root again, cross string to give it that kind of sound. Now, what I like about that G chord is it outlines a chord that I use all the time. You guys see me talk about this all the time. I love major 7 chords, right? Very nice voicing of those. So if that's really all I'm doing, I'm holding out that G. Right? So everything repeats is the same of that, and then on the D, on the A, on the repeat, I just come up with a variation. Another thing I do, I rarely play the same riff again and again and again. I rarely repeat that. And I usually put a lot of variations on the ending, almost like a drummer would, right, on a drum fill, right? Your drum fill is going to be in that 4th measure, so I'm going to create a variation on that 4th measure. So on the A, I walk up the same 3 notes, 5, 7, 9, and then instead of going, I just do that, right? On the G string, I reverse it. 7, 6, 4, and then on the D string, 4, 7. All right. So again, I'll play those two parts for you. And then you can go into it, do everything you want. So there you go. Right? We have a very simple chord progression, mixing it around, changing it up, and making something maybe a little more interesting. Maybe? I think so. So anyway, you guys can find a link for the tab down in the description below, PDF or Guitar Pro, both parts. And yeah, and as always, let me know what you're wrong with. So until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.